They'll be all up there. So your camera's up there.
To Tuesday night, Hopeaholics.
Hopeaholics, that's right.
G's connecting. People are starting to connect. The Hopeaholics
welcome.
pot. Why is it only on me?
Because you're
Because
so
you're
handsome.
the best.
I am
good
the
you.
best. It's just me tonight, guy. Oh, dang it. I was going to.
We wouldn't do that to you guys.
That's jacked up.
I know. I'm sorry. You
What's-
set
did set yourself up.
Yeah, you did. You set the table perfectly.
Yeah.
What's going on? Chuck. Zamzow.
I know. How do we do the screen so we could see more people?
Well, right now, that's
Oh.
all that there is.
Never mind.
I just want you guys to know Shane is not mad at me. So
He's
Okay.
not.
That's good.
Were you worried?
Hi, G. What's up, G?
Should we let Shane in or kick him out?
Is Shane, Shane, what? Oh my goodness.
There he is.
Shane, are you here? Are you going to turn on your camera? Oh, whoa. Jesus Christ. Shane's in the house. I went live earlier, Shane, and I told them that you were out. Can't hear a word you're saying. That's great. This is great. We got a mute button.
Yeah.
We can't hear him.
Shane is.
Shane, I brought in I brought in my doppelganger to take your spot. You see him? It's my twin brother. Yeah, he's younger though, so that's why he's a doppelganger.
the second captain.
Where's I don't see Peter Gates on here.
Paige is in the house.
Leila G.
Michelle.
Alicia Noble.
Hi, Amy.
Oh.
It was a good trick because I knew that Chad would be pissed. It's just been a long string of me. You know, when I'm sick, I just seem to mess up.
I was
So it was
telling
perfect.
Teamwork makes the dream
Instagram
work.
live earlier. We don't know if you're really injured or you're just being a big baby.
I was at the ER. They gave me some good meds. I'm feeling a little bit better now.
Well, don't tell everybody that. Jeez.
That sounds like
Mute him.
And, yeah.
See ya.
And now you're muted.
Bye.
And now, good night.
Just so y'all know, Shane really is in some serious pain.
What did he do?
What happened?
He did the Cali muscle workout for 30 days in a row or 60 days in a row. You know,
Core
you guys
muscle?
know Cali muscle?
Yeah.
Yeah. He tore some
some
serious stuff right up in
Ligaments. Oof.
this area.
Oh, that's good.
Oof.
Yeah.
I crashed on my snowboard and tore one of the tendons in the back of my shoulder.
Ooh.
Took forever to get through.
Hi, Paige. Alicia.
You don't know like how much you use the muscles in your shoulder until you like have a shoulder injury. And it's like everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's everything. I
You were
tried to do
hating it.
so much at the gym and it was not happening.
I mean, even to put on a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Drive a car.
Welcome, everybody, to our Tuesday night Recover Out Loud meeting. 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Glad you all...
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday night. Shane always gets worried when there's only like 6 people in the room at 6 o'clock. People don't always show up
There we
on
go.
time.
See,
Yeah,
people
they
are
start coming. They
What's
start
happening,
coming.
Shane?
This is like 6.
Shane, calm down.
They're trickling in.
Calm down. If you calm down, we'll take your mute off.
Driving machine. Happy to be here.
Look at his
Happy
smiley
to be
face.
here.
He's like happy right now.
Welcome.
Yeah, he's like, I'm so glad I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Josie's iPhone would be my mom.
Oh, hi, Josie.
I can't imagine anybody else having that name.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. If that's you.
My mom's on.
Tuesday night.
Just so everybody knows, this is also streamed live on YouTube on the Hopeaholics YouTube channel. My mom watches that, so I'm sorry in advance,
Right
Mom.
here from Ground Zero.
We might say the F word. How's it going, Chuck? Shane and I love your last name, Zamzow. We're not sure if that's exactly how you
Hi,
pronounce
Chuck.
it, but
I had a fantastic time at Olympia. Thank you.
Sounds exciting.
What's the Olympia?
where did somebody say that?
In the
Oh, hey,
in the-
Nat,
in
did
the
you?
chat. It was in
that-
Orlando.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mr. Olympia?
Yeah.
Oh.
Who won? A new no.
Actually, one of the Rain athletes, Ryan Terry, shout out to him. He won, I believe, men's physique, and he'd been competing for like 9 years. So for him to win, it's pretty incredible.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
I feel like a new guy won either that or
I don't
Mr. Olympia.
I don't know Mr. Olympia. I can't think of the guy off the top of my head. Sebum won
Last
again.
year. He did?
Yeah, this is his 5th one.
Was Arnold there?
I don't know.
You know who was there? Kai Green.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Kai Green?
I don't know. Kai Green.
I like him.
Okay, great.
Yeah, Kai's amazing.
What is he, a bodybuilder?
Yeah. Grab your mic, pull it a little bit closer.
Okay.
Here, watch.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Yep. Now you can move wherever you want. Shane, we got somebody in your spot, buddy. Like I said, depending on how he does tonight, Shane.
Yeah, we shall. Peter Gates is in the building as well.
Peter
Thank
Gates
God.
is in the
Peter
building.
Gates.
Do you guys know Peter Gates?
No.
No? Oh, okay. He's about to turn on his. Oh, you driving,
Oh,
Peter?
it is my mom.
Is it? Oh, nice.
Yeah, she actually, dude, the fact that my mom knows how to use like technology better than I do, she figured out how to write in the chat.
Yeah.
Like it took me a very long time to even figure out how to do that. Hi, Mom.
All right. Well, let's
Shall we get into it?
Yeah, let's get this
Let's
thing.
do it.
Let's get this
party
thing
started.
rolling.
That was exciting.
We did
There
that
you go,
for you,
Shane.
Shane.
That's for you. I did it today in our podcast too.
Yeah, we got the whole group dancing. Natalie was dancing in the podcast earlier today. Anyways, welcome to our every Tuesday night Recover Out Loud meeting. This meeting is for everybody. It's not just for addicts and alcoholics. I know that currently there's some parents listening who have lost their children to fentanyl. They're listening on the YouTube live right now while they're driving. Shout out to Tracy. Hope you're doing well. Your podcast just dropped. It was amazing. It was a good big hit in my eyes. Very, very powerful podcast. But this meeting is for everybody. Anybody that's been in pain, anybody that's suffering, people that have friends, family, and loved ones that, are addicts, currently using or in recovery.
Like my mom.
Yeah. There's a perfect spot. Like
Yeah.
my mom. My mom's
She's
on here.
not in recovery, but she has children that are.
So this meeting also is just, it's not to replace whatever you normally do to stay clean and sober, because the Recover Out Loud meeting is actually not a program. It doesn't have any steps or anything. It's just like a little add-on that we can all come together and start to heal our pain together.
It's a hangout.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for inviting me tonight.
Yeah, we have tonight. Guess who we
excited.
have? Christine is our speaker.
Not sure what I'm going to speak about yet, but I'm glad that I'm here.
You got a lot of
I'm glad to
stories.
see
Yeah.
you guys have this going on. I think it's really important to have all sorts of different kind of recovery, sobriety kind of information and platforms that we can all tune into. It just makes it a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we got Trevor. He's going to help us out tonight. He's stepping in for Shane. I was told one time, I go to the gym with these two lovely people. Usually see them on the weekends. And one of Christine's friends was like, hey, you guys are twins. But, you always get that with another bald head person. Everybody's like, you guys are like brothers. You look alike.
Yeah, we see like a new bald head guy come in and we're like, who are
Like,
you?
oh, hey. Yeah.
What's your name? Uh-huh.
We all
Yeah,
know each other.
But yeah.
That's why they immediately fell in love with my husband, because it was all three of them are bald.
Yeah.
There we go.
Mhm,
Yeah.
It's a thing.
He must be a good
It's
guy.
it's a thing. I mean, there's a lot of bald men these days. We're not keeping the comb over anymore. We're not trying to hang on to our hair too long.
It's too much work.
Yeah, just
Way too much work.
I don't know what.
I think the best thing to do is just shave it off.
Let it go.
Go to the gym, get a couple muscles on you, and then if you like tattoos, tattoo your body, and then bam, good to go.
Part of the club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all we got to do is shave our head. Are we getting on this?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think it works as good for girls. But it
I-
could. I'm not going to say it won't.
So grab your mic, just pull a little bit closer to you, and then we'll get started. And I'm gonna turn it over to you and let them know who you are.
Yeah.
My name's Christine. I'm definitely an alcoholic. I don't know if we're identifying as that or not.
Yeah.
But I've been in recovery for a little bit over 7.5 years, and I did not get here willingly. I was unwillingly given my sobriety date by the Placer County Sheriff's Department because they decided that my actions were definitely not, didn't need to continue. And I thought I was just going to keep running and running and running until somebody made me stop, and they did, and I'm grateful that they did. When I got here, I had a 4.5 year prison sentence over my head because, like a good alcoholic, I was like, I'm going to relapse, and I'm going to go do everything that I know won't kill me, but everything that they told me that I couldn't do. And I did, and I kept going. And if there was any sort of like idea that this was like pushing the rules or like breaking the rules, I was in on it. I was like, that's amazing. That's exactly what I want to go do. And so that's what I did. And I got arrested, and it took them 3 days to catch me because they were like trying to get me. And I'm up in Sacramento, so I'm like 300 miles away from home. And the only reason they caught me was because of facial recognitions on a camera. I mean, at a casino, and it was like felony warrants out of Orange County. Wow. And I was like that weirdo that like picked up the phone for your PO, you know, like when your PO calls and I'm like, hey, what's going on? I'm loaded. And my PO's like, where are you? You're supposed to turn yourself in. And I'm like, I'm going to ask the governor for a pardon because I am a good person and like all this stuff. And so they sent like APB out, picked me up, took me to jail. And that idea of the fact that I was a good person and I was raised correctly is kind of like the whole point to my story tonight, because I had literally driven everybody away. I had a criminal record. I had no hope. Nobody had hope for me. I was that person that like everyone's like, that girl's never gonna get sober. Like there's no shot. I wasn't listening to anybody. I didn't have any good ideas. All I had was my own ideas. And like I would never let anybody else in on my ideas. And I would keep going and going. And my story tonight is to talk about like the person that I was when I got sober, the day that I was taken down, to the person that I am today has been a total transformation, you know? And so I want to talk about a little bit to qualify. Drinking isn't a big part of my story. Drugs are a big part of my story, but I was introduced to this thing called Alcoholics Anonymous, and it was a 12-step program, and a bunch of old alcoholics were the ones that were like, here, read this book. Maybe you have a problem. Because I was angry when I relapsed, you know? I was super, super angry. It was everybody else's fault. It was the kid's dad's fault. I got sober for a little while and had 3 kids, and then it was everybody's fault when I relapsed. And it was the whole world's fault. And I was really, really angry. And these people set a book in front of me, and they were like, hey, maybe you should read this. You might be an alcoholic. And I started to read it, and it was like everything made sense to me, even though alcohol wasn't a big part of my story. And those are the people I stuck to, so that's why I identify as an alcoholic. But my life, looking back, is like a series of uncomfortability. Like I was uncomfortable all the time. I did everything alcoholically. As a child, I went to church alcoholically. Like I was that girl that was like in the church choir. We were just talking about that. And I was in music makers, and I did Awanas, and I did all of the things that the church offered because I wanted to be in it to win it, kind of thing. And then after that kind of failed, and I went to high school, I was a cheerleader. I did cheerleading extremely alcoholically because I would be like on my high school team, and then I got an all-star team, and then I was working at the gym, and I was just always there because it was like something that brought me joy, and I wanted more and more and more of it. And then I found drugs, then I found alcohol, and I found partying, and that took over for a little while. And then I got pregnant, and I had a child. And I knew from the moment that I got pregnant, I stopped everything and I got sober. And I was only sober for them. I wasn't sober for me, you know, and it wasn't the same sobriety, but I remember hating being pregnant, but I remember loving the feeling that I could remember every day. And I had the first kid, and like a good alcoholic, I had the second kid, and like a good alcoholic, I then had the third kid. So I had 3 kids in 3 years. Wow. And and then I was doing like the mom thing, but again, I was sober, but I was sober for them. And it was like I was sober for waking up and having things to do and having purpose. And it was like my whole life was in the kitchen, just cooking meals for the kids. And people would like drop their kids off at my houses, and then I had like 5 of them. And I raised 5 kids under 4 years old for about 2 years. And then I kind of just got to a point where like my relationship was breaking up, my whole life was falling apart, and I had 3 babies and I didn't know what to do. So again, you do what you know when you don't know what to do, and I relapsed, and I took those kids to my mom's, and I was like, hey, this is happening, and if I don't do this, something worse is probably going to happen. Someone's going to get hurt, and I took off for about 6 or 7 months, and that's when I started getting into like everything, because this was going to be a good relapse, and I was just running, and I was angry, and I did all the things like so I started stealing cars. So that's kind of like where my addiction was like, I don't need drugs anymore. I just need that rush, right? I just need that rush, that moment of like, I'm getting away with doing something that nobody else knows about, that's such a big deal. And I wasn't like stealing cars to like chop them up and sell them. I was just stealing them to drive them around. And that's what the stupid part was. But I ended up turning myself in, kind of. The story's a little different, but I look at it like that because it was definitely God working in my life. You know, God was with me the whole time through all of my running and gunning, through having the children, through the decision to relapse, to the decision to finally stick with this thing, you know. And I turned myself into the sheriff's department. I was like, I just can't do this anymore. This is just killing me. And they gave me like CWP. I don't know if you guys know what CWP is, but it's County Work Program.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, they're like 4.5 years of prison time for all the stolen cars. I mean, the cops came to me and they're like, you're turning yourself in for what? And I was like, I'm just turning myself in. They're like, all right, what car did you come in? I was like, yeah, I don't see it. I don't know. And they're like, burp, burp, there it is. And they went out to the car, and then the car was obviously stolen and everything in it. And I had like a sandwich baggie of like 75 key fobs, and they're like, what's this? And I was like, okay, look, there's a lot of stories we could sit and talk about, but all of these cars and everything, just so everybody knows, I have done my time, and I have paid my debt to society. And this is where the kind of like the magic happens, because if I didn't go down those roads, if I didn't do all those things, if I didn't get so into it, then it wouldn't have brought me to a point where they're like, okay, 4 years in prison sounds good for you, without a strike, without a violent crime. So it would have been served at a county level at 2 years flat without option for CWP, unless I took like, rehab for a year, and 2 years in, I got time served for so much, and all these other stipulations to my sentence, and they let me out on CWP, which was their mistake. And I got out on CWP, and I went on another run, and that's when I went to Sacramento. I went to Sacramento, and I got back from Sacramento. So I went to Sacramento, and I got arrested in Sacramento. By the way, Sacramento cops, super, super nice, right? Not like they are in Orange County. And so super nice. And so I go through their jail, and the whole 10 days that I'm in there, my bunkie keeps saying, like, hey, Christine, what are you going to do when you get out? I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I borrowed this sweatshirt from this guy, and his phone number's on it. I'm going to call him. I'm going to get out in Sacramento, somehow make it back to Orange County, and I'm just going to keep going. Like, that was my best thinking, my best idea of what I was going to do when I got out. It wasn't like I was going to go home and try to get my family back, or I wasn't going to do the right thing or make the right choices. It was like, I'm going to just figure out a way to keep on partying, to keep on going. And because I didn't want to think, and I didn't want to stop. And somewhere in those 10 days, she kept asking me, and she's like, Christine, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you. And somewhere in those 10 days, something happened. And as soon as they told me after 10 days I might be released, because Orange County doesn't come to pick you up, then they're going to release you. And oh, bet your socks, Orange County came to pick me up. And that door was slammed closed, and I was like, okay, this is it. I'm either going in or something's got to happen. And I got back to Orange County, and they were like, hey, you can either go to prison and serve it at a county level, or you can get sober. And I was like, you know what? Sober's sounding really good right now. What do I got to do for that? And I jumped into a program called Drug Court. And it was like, I was that person also that was like, friends don't let friends sign for Drug Court. Like, it's totally a setup. No one's going to get through it. And I was like their golden child. I did everything they told me to do. Someone gave me some advice really early in the program, and they said, hey, put your sobriety first. Put your sobriety first before everything else. And then everything else that follows, you'll be able to hold on to, and it'll be able to be manageable. And so I did. I made my recovery. I made a 12-step program, BMI number 1. I started going to a bunch of meetings with old people, started meeting a fellowship, started getting involved. And then it was like everything that Drug Court program threw at me, it seemed to be like another hurdle that they put in my path, And it was like, okay, put it higher next time. Next time you put a hurdle in my path, let's make it higher. Let's make it even higher than the last one, because like I'm going to win this race. There's no stopping me. And I graduated from that program on June 28th, 2018. I got sober on April 12th, 2016. And when I graduated that program, they took all of my charges and they made them, they didn't make them misdemeanors. They dismissed them under a 1204.3 or 1203.4. And so they're expunged, meaning that the government can still throw them against me, but they can't bring up any of my 21 open cases for car theft. So, so I kept really close to that drug court program because after that 2 years, all I wanted to do was stay sober. All I wanted to do was continue the life that the program had given me, that the drug court program had taught me how to live, and I was going to keep going with it. And I started sponsoring people in the program, and then I started sponsoring people in the drug court program, and I stayed close to that program for about 5 years until the judge retired. But I kept going back and I kept checking in and I kept working with people that were struggling getting through the program because that's what this program taught me. That's what being sober taught me. You know, I'm not doing it right unless I'm helping somebody else do exactly what I did to get to where I'm at. And in I think it was like last year, I tried to get my EMT license because, again, like a good alcoholic, I set my goals high. And trying to get into public service with a bunch of felonies isn't always the like easiest thing to do, but nobody ever told me that I couldn't do it. And so I kept going and I kept trying and I did the schooling and I did the testing. And then I went in for the interview and they were like, there's no shot you're going to work in public service. There's no shot. And I didn't like take that as an answer. It got me down for about a couple weeks, and then I jumped back on it. And I went to the judge, and I was like, "Hey, I really want to be that person that you guys can call reformed. I want to be that person that we can say that the system actually helped and rehabilitated." So I'm like considered the first person to be rehabilitated in the drug court program because they took my record. I petitioned for him to take my record and 1385 it, meaning everything is dismissed under 1385, so the government can't use it against me. They can see it, but they can't use it against me. So, in a court of law. So, I did get my EMT license about 2 months ago.
Congratulations.
But a year ago, the judge was like, "Hey, I've never done this for anyone because no one has presented me with this option." You know, and I think that as alcoholics, we take things a little bit further. I feel like we're smarter than the average person because it's like, here's the rules. And people are like, here's the rules, here's the box, don't pass this line. But like us, we think we're like, what's on the other side though? Mm-hmm. What's over there? You know, let's go check it out for ourselves. And that's what usually gets us in trouble. You know, and I was always that person, and I took it way too far. And if I could, it's kind of like if I could come back from where I was at when I first got here, I think anybody can, no matter your situation, no matter your past. I think that we can build on a hope for the future and a better future, especially as like humans, especially as alcoholics, people in recovery. Like we have a tendency to like push farther than most people. Today, I have a great relationship in recovery. Like I never thought like being with somebody in recovery was going to be beneficial until I met Trevor. And then it's great because like we'll get in like a little disagreement, and then all of a sudden both of us are thinking it's our fault. We're like, okay, sorry, it's my fault, totally my fault. I apologize for my part, and it's worked out really good so far. It's just making sure that our sobriety comes first, our kids come first. I mean, I have 3 kids. He's got 2 kids, so together we got 5.
Woo!
And we
happy home.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we get it. Sometimes it works having them all together. Sometimes it doesn't. But it's like those are the moments that I'm grateful for today, and that's the person that I can be. You know, I did. My kids are extremely involved in my life now, and they know a little bit about a lot, and they know a lot about a little. You know, they kind of are not hip to the game, but there's a lot of things like my license plate on my car says no more GTA. And they've asked me for years. They're like, so wait, what does that mean? I'm like, I'm going to tell you when you get older, you know, because it's just, there's certain things that they should know, and there's certain things that they will figure out as they get bigger. And,
what did you have to say that was to get it to
Tell her
pass?
your trick.
Okay. So my brother was like, what do you want for your graduation present from drug court? And I was like, a personalized license plate. And I wanted not a GTA, just to tell the cops, like, I actually bought this car. And because they were like, dude, we were chasing you. We thought you were some big operation. I was like, dude, it was just me and one other person. Like, it wasn't that big a deal. And my brother wrote a 3-page essay on how my whole story. And he was like, that's why she wants this on her license plate. And that's how I got it. He told him the truth.
Oh,
No,
wow.
but what do you tell people it means when you don't want to tell them?
I told him it's a video game.
No, you tell them Greater Toronto Area.
No, someone asked me that one. Yeah, someone asked me that one time. They're like, does that mean Greater Toronto Area? And I was
Yes.
like, yeah, I used to live in Canada. For sure that happened.
Uh-oh, Shane's Canadian. Where are you, Shane? there you
Oh,
are.
man, I wish I could live in Canada.
Canada deployed.
Canada,
Yeah.
nobody wishes they lived in
I
Canada.
actually now can go to Canada, just so everybody knows. My charges are all gone, so I now can go to
Nice.
Canada.
Yeah, you better be careful up there.
But that's
Yeah.
really all I got. So I hope any of that made sense. I don't know if it did. And really, I just, with my story, I want to bring people hope and just tell them to never give up, because that's not, if I would have given up at any stage of this path, I wouldn't be where I'm at. And I didn't want to be a statistic. I didn't want to be the one that people were like, oh, she's just an alcoholic. Good, she got sober, but really, what is she going to amount to? I wanted to be the one that like came back and was like, I'm going to amount to whatever I need to amount to, you know, and I'm gonna try out the things that that everybody said I couldn't do. I'm also one of those, like,
Yeah, it's amazing.
stick it to them kind
Yeah.
of people.
I love
Sure.
that. That's what the Hopeaholics is all
Exactly.
about. It's not, it's about that afterburner. Like we get sober, right? And then what? I don't want to just be another, average person in recovery. And I want to bring hope to people that they can too accomplish more than they ever thought they could. Before we even ever started using.
Yeah.
I love this saying. It's like, remember who you were before the world told you who you were supposed to be.
That's good.
Because if you go back there, like at that point in life, before anybody, or even like our parents, our friends, our siblings, our teachers, they all put limits on us. They put stamps like, oh, you can only do this much. And then you start to believe it. But what you have to do is forget about all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And start believing that you can achieve anything that you want to achieve.
And even if it's like small goals, small
sure.
steps at a time. I didn't just like wake up one day, I'm like, I'm going to be a paramedic.
Yeah,
What am I
totally.
gonna do? I had to like take steps to get there. So it's like setting a goal that was higher than where I was at was a big deal.
And she doesn't even
Yeah,
use her
exactly.
EMT license. She just wanted to get it. It was just like like it's useless. But
I got it.
She got
so-
it.
Yeah.
And it was
The state
cool
of
because
California.
the judge had never, in 35 years of being a judge, she'd never done that for anybody.
Can I ask you a couple questions? Because
Please do.
I too am
feel
a
like I've
drug
been
court drug court graduate.
Wow.
Yeah, and who was your judge?
Judge Anderson.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
That was my judge as well.
I got him on speed dial.
Judge Anderson. I was a phenomenal participant in the drug court program. I was like the second fastest to graduate the program. I think I graduated it in the minimum time is 18 months, right? I graduated in 18 months, 14 days.
Wow.
Wow.
So I was an overachiever.
No sanctions.
I had
Yeah.
one sanction for a diluted test in phase 1. So I got to spend one night in jail. I got all my booking photos though from when I was 20 all the way up to the drug court era, which was in my 30s, late 30s.
Nice.
They don't do that anymore, but I have mine too.
They don't do that anymore. That's
Well,
meat
Judge
sauce.
Anderson retired last year.
Yeah, I saw that.
We
Like,
went to his
it's
retirement
so
party.
weird. Did I see it? Maybe did I see it on your page?
Probably.
Do you have a picture of?
Yep.
It was. Do you have pictures of your kids sitting in the? Somebody's put pictures of their kids sitting.
Sitting behind bars. Oh, no, that was
just
Oliver.
sitting in his chair.
Oh, no, that was me.
That was her.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
With the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Judge
we never got to
Anderson
go
loves
up there.
her.
Yeah,
I don't think I have that same love because I got to tell you, after a drug court, I relapsed.
yeah.
And I
lot of
picked up.
people
I
do
picked up 19 new charges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah.
like you as much.
So I try to stay really connected with the drug court family and the people that are involved in it, because that happens a lot. Like I've lost probably 7 people that graduated with me,
Yeah.
and because that's what happens. We get back a little bit of that sense of like
Yeah.
hope. We get back a sense of life and meaning. And then if we break that, we just give up so much faster. And it's always quicker and always faster the second time around. And unfortunately, a lot of them, I don't think, wanted to die, and that's just the harsh reality of it. Is it's dangerous out there. It's a super dangerous thing to play with. And if we don't keep people close, then they can stray. And it's not their fault. It's not our fault. It's just, it happens,
Yeah.
and it's the impact that it has on the people around us, and the impact it has on the people that came in and out of our lives any time of our path,
Yeah.
So That's how I feel. So I try to keep the alumni close.
Nice.
I try to get us all to be like friends on Facebook and chit chat. One of our favorite things to do is like go on trips, like little trips. We go to Mammoth a lot and we go snowboarding and we try to get like as many people to go with us. Because, you know, it's always that like moment of like, oh, I want to go snowboarding.
That's really cool.
I'd love to go.
I
but-
only know like 2 people from my group that are still sober.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have
that's
quite a few.
And I will tell you though I'm not one of them but I am because I came back, right? But some of them aren't sober, but they're still successful.
yeah.
You know, they just don't work a program anymore, and some of them decided they were able to drink, and I'm like, okay, well, if you can drink, that's fine.
Well, you could end up with charges in drug court and not be an alcoholic.
Yeah.
True.
You know?
Very true.
They almost didn't let me in because my charges really didn't
Yeah.
kind of fit their model, but my lawyer was friends with Judge Anderson, so he kind of pushed it through. The PO at the time, she really was rough, man. She was tough.
Is it Lori Dyer?
Yes.
Oh my God.
They text each other.
Yeah. I hated her when I was in drug court.
Oh,
Hated
yeah.
her.
She was-
With the fear
she
of
was-
God in me.
She was rough, man. When I was there, she would come rolling into my house with like 6 undercover cops, just destroy my house.
And it's like, don't panic. We're only going to be here a minute. And they're just like taking everything apart. You're like, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah.
Anyways, thank you so
Yeah.
much for that share. It was really amazing. And now we have this special time where we open it up.
Yeah, it was amazing. Your story's incredible. It's exactly what it's all about.
I really
Like, what-
enjoyed that.
That was fun.
It got me pumped. I was a little tired in the beginning. It's just been a long day. Totally forgot that we had this meeting today. Natalie's
Yeah, I
at
know.
like 3 because Shane boned out. Shane was like, we usually like really like we're on Instagram live. We're telling everybody come join, and then all of a sudden 3:00 now. Natalie's like, hey, do we have that the Recover Out Loud meeting tonight? And I was like, oh,
Oh.
I was like, shit. Shane left. We didn't go live. We didn't do anything.
We had lots going on.
We did have a lot
Yeah.
going on. But this is like my favorite night of the week though, because this is my meeting. This is what I do.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It is
Yeah.
fun.
And you
And
get
it's
new
like a
people in
different,
here?
it's like, you know, it's a nice little different, relaxed version of kind of like if people go to NA or AA or whatever programs or 12-step recovery programs that they're in. This one is a little more.
Open.
Open,
Yeah.
diverse.
Yeah,
Diverse.
anybody
Yeah.
can
You're,
hop in.
and then there's
Diverse,
people from
relaxed.
all
Yeah.
over the country
Yeah.
up there right now, which is super cool. There's people on the East Coast. It's
I hope
like
my story was
not-
amazing. Because whenever I tell my story or I talk about it, I literally in my head I'm just laughing at myself. Like, who thinks this stuff is normal?
Well, you have
This
great
stuff
story.
isn't
I mean, a
normal.
lot of your
Funny.
story
Well,
is
you can laugh now.
a lot of
Yeah.
your
Like, that's the
story
incredible
is
thing.
similar to mine because like I was into GTAs. I used to steal them, the same car that I had, and then I would just put my license plate on the back because mine was always broken down.
Yeah.
So I'd steal the same one, and then I'd drive around with. I got pulled over in it numerous times until finally the cop was like, something doesn't quite fit here. Let me run the VIN number. Yeah.
All my,
She was getting them all from dealerships.
Yeah.
And she'd get pulled over in them, and they wouldn't even be in the system yet. They wouldn't even know they were gone from the dealership yet.
By the way, this has all been reported to the police.
She already said that.
I have gone on record saying all this.
Gone in 60 seconds.
Dude, it was exactly like that. Like cool
That's
cars. She
so
wasn't taking
crazy.
like Hondas and stuff.
That's crazy.
I wasn't taking that cooler cars. I was taking Volkswagen GTIs.
I stole
Yeah,
one
I was
Honda
just-
Accord.
You did?
Just to get
driving
to Santa
around.
Ana from a garage. Left it there. That was it.
I just
All
drive
right.
around to play with all the features.
Yeah.
So the we're gonna open up the meeting for sharing. The rule is you get 3 minutes. I know we all don't really like rules, but at the 3-minute mark you will hear. And
Wow.
when you hear that, just go ahead and wrap it up. You don't have to just stop right away. It just means wrap it up. You got another 30 seconds to a minute to wrap it up. Who raise your virtual hand if you would like to share. All right.
Chuck.
Thank you guys for all of the love in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck. We almost can hear you.
There we go.
There
All
you
right,
go.
there we go.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Great story. Stuck out to me a lot was that relapse. Man, I remember my relapse too. actually a couple of them. And, the word that sticks to my mind is my buddy that sat next to today in the meeting, he calls them retreads. And
Hang on, we accidentally unmuted somebody. Sorry about that.
I was
That's
like,
all
wait,
right.
where is that coming from?
And I was thinking about the relapse today. And, I remember when I relapsed, I was getting into exercising because I was replacing alcohol with exercising. And I was like, bodybuilding show. What the hell? Why don't I just do that? That'll replace for me not drinking for so ever how long. And I did that probably up until 2007. I mean, even though I started drinking back 6 months after I came back the first time, but I quit drinking for so long. I was replacing it with the bodybuilding shows, and I got the same high, but I always felt like I was missing something. Somewhere. And when I came back in 2008 after my 2-year relapse, I got back into bodybuilding shows again, but it was different. And being able to experience something, in a different way, it was pretty rewarding. But it was quite the journey as growing in it. And the one thing I remember was getting in the middle of the herd when I first came back, and sticking in the middle, not sticking on the outer edges of the group, and seemed to help out quite a bit. I had a lot of great old timers, the old goats I call them. They really kicked me in the butt sometimes, call me on my own, BS. And I had a great sponsor, same thing. And one gentleman that told me, he goes, "Hey Chuck, just sit back, shut up, and smile." And I just kind of looked at him funny, but I got it after a while. It was a great story. And the one thing I do remember is I don't forget where I came from. And man, self-sabotage, did that plenty of times. A lot of other things that I've done. But overall, that's all I got to share, guys. Thanks for letting me share.
Awesome. Thank you, Chuck.
Thanks, Chuck.
Chuck.
Who's up next? We don't have a lot of virtual hands raised right now.
No, but it looks like some people want to share.
Yeah.
Oh, I
tell
can
by their
see.
faces.
I know Julian wants
Yeah.
to share. He loves sharing.
Yeah, look at him. I think he was holding his hand up. See that? Yeah, look at him.
Amy
He's
did.
ready to go.
Amy, you
got
want to share?
wisdom.
I got.
Yeah.
Oh, Amy's fired up.
I
Look
can
at her.
see
Oh, we got. There we go.
We got one.
All right, we got.
Y'all are something else, man. Hey, so I was just first of all, thank you for sharing your story. Your story is amazing, right? And I was just thinking about how when I the first time I relapsed back in 2002, I thought my drug of choice was heroin, and I thought I could just chill by the liquor store which was a block away from my neighborhood where I grew up at. And I thought I could just chill by the liquor store and, get my little sip on and, everything was cool. But I was still missing that high. It was like I was replacing it with the liquor, but it was like, man, there's something missing, And so I started easing back over to the hood, started hanging back around, the same people. And one thing led to another. I went right back into, getting high and I took it to another level, start shooting dope, So it was like, man, the thing is, man, when you change your surroundings, when you change the people who you hang out with, man, and when you have that change of thought, ain't nothing more powerful than a changed mind. But once you're set, they said where focus go, energy flows. I'm sure y'all heard that before. But once you're set and you know that this is the time to change, man, boom, you can make it happen, man. And I'm proud of you for what's your name again?
Christine.
Christine. I'm so proud of you, man. Keep going.
Thank you.
Another thing I want to say is this is my third meeting. I've been clean for 17 years, right? I've never done a meeting or none of that. I spoke at meetings, but this is my third meeting. All three of them are with you guys. So I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all again, man. And I'm going to land with that.
That's
Good to see you,
amazing.
Julian.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
man.
That was
Beautiful.
a great share.
That was.
Yeah.
Nadia.
Hi, everyone. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hi, I wanted to check in. Yeah, thank you for sharing. I remember when I got arrested, my brother-in-law's LAPD cop. And I was in a cell, and all of a sudden I see him walk in, and he scared me more than my dad. He's like, "What the hell are you doing in here?" I'm like, "Nothing." Nothing. And he, I guess, looked at my paperwork. I ended up doing a year flat in county. The judge said, "You're staying for a year. You're not leaving till I release you." And I was too busy running around doing my thing and not paying a old bill that I owed to the county for the child support. My ex-husband wasn't paying me. I was getting help, assistance. And I guess according to them, I got overpaid and I didn't pay the bill because I was too busy. I was, doing my thing. Why am I going to pay my bills? I want to go out and have fun. And at that time, my son was living with his dad. So I was always asked, "Don't you hate the cops?" I'm like, "No, they saved my life." I could be dead in an alley somewhere or something, and I thought I was looking good, and one of the police officers, Glendale Police, said, "Come here, come take a look at yourself in the mirror." It was a lady cop. My skin was gray. Like I was gray, like literally like gray. And she says, "What do you need to get it together." And that stuck a lot with me. And what my dad said, "You cannot see your mother until you get some help." So that hit home because I'm the baby of the family, and I'm close to my parents. And man, thank God for the House of Hope in San Pedro, because that's who I went through. I wasn't ordered, but I decided I need to do something. I need to get it together. I'm too old for this shit. I was already hitting 40, and still trying to be a teenager. So thank God for recovery in the rooms. And, you were sharing your story, and it's like, hey, she's telling my story right now. I related a lot to you. And thank you so much. And I want to check in because, I was really down last week and doing a lot better.
Good.
I just finished a program with NAMI, so I'm going to be helping people with suicide calls. And I'll let you guys know how that goes.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be good for me. It's going to be really good for me. And, real quick, my heart is heavy for those sheriffs that committed suicide in Castaic. There was like 2 or 3 of them, and my nephew-in-law's out there. So thank God he's okay. I don't know the whole story, but I wish they would have had somebody to talk to,
Yeah.
So thank you for letting me share
Thank you.
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you.
We go to a meeting with the House of Hope girls every
Love
morning.
those House of Hope girls.
Oh, nice.
Do you?
The Vision for You meeting.
Man,
yeah.
I remember when I got there, they're like, "Oh yeah, we have beautification day." And I thought, "Ooh, I'm going to get my hair done and my nails." We went out to pick up trash.
Beautify the world is what you were doing, huh?
Yeah.
Good
Fooled
one.
me, huh?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I do have to tell you, I look at you today and I just don't even see a person that used to get high or drink or do anything.
They used to call me June Cleaver in county. June Cleaver, they all took care of me because I didn't know what it was like. And then a whole year.
And this was
And
LA
so my
County?
friend-
LA County?
LA County.
Damn.
LA County. Oh, that was tough.
Yeah.
And my friend that passed away, he used to tease me. He goes, "I know you had a girlfriend." I said, "No, I didn't." He goes, "Yeah, because they took care of you." So yeah, that was tough. That was tough. A whole year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great share.
Awesome.
But I got through it.
Yep.
Made me a better person.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
you.
Let's see who we got here.
Perla.
It's Perla. Do we know Perla?
Perla Mendoza.
Hi guys, I'm driving right now, so I apologize for not turning on my camera. I kind of look the same, just my skin is not as nice. So
That's great.
anyway, I follow you guys on Instagram. I go by Elijah's Mama, Elijah's dot Mama,
Yep.
and I unfortunately I've struggled with my own addictions. From shopping to drinking to smoking weed. And at one time I was taking Vicodins and I didn't even realize I was addicted to them. By the grace of God, I was able to overcome that. I was really afraid for my son to experience the same type of lifestyle that I experienced as a child. I come from a family of people who have struggled with addiction. My dad was a heroin addict who got Hep C and died about 13 years ago. And my mom is still addicted to meth and lives in her car somewhere in Westminster. So it's really hard, to have experienced that. And I tried, and I continue to try to stay sober and stay away from things that will make me want to go there. Unfortunately, 3 years ago, my only kid passed away from a fake pill that was made out of fentanyl, and I thought I was gonna die. I was like, "This is it." Thank God, my son was a bridge that God used to bring me closer to him. My son went into a treatment center. Actually, he was in a lot of treatment centers throughout Orange County, even one in LA. Both really fancy ones and some that weren't so fancy. But the last time he was in treatment, he got really close to God, and because of where he was at, I kind of was forced to go to church, and I ended up falling in love with Christ myself. And then my boy dies, and I was just like, no, man, this is not supposed to be like this. I felt like it was the time of like the one time in my life where I was like trying to be righteous and like really just trying to pursue like everything God has. And then I lost my boy. Thankfully, God will turn everything that is meant for evil and use it for good. And now I am an advocate working to spread awareness and help people, avoid overdoses by teaching them different things like CPR and recognizing signs. And, if you need Narcan, I got that too. And I just feel like God is using, my son's, the love that I had from my boy to do something right now. And I'm just really grateful to be on and be able to hear your stories. They're so encouraging. It reminds me that there is hope. Sometimes I feel alone, or like maybe, I'm putting up a front, and it's not that. I'm just really trying to do shit the right way and make it out and make it to heaven so I could be with my boy again. But meanwhile, I'm here and I'm on the ground. My focus is Orange County. I'm doing some events this week. I'd love your support. This is all love, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Perla.
Are you able to put up that flyer in the chat that you sent me earlier?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, put it up in the chat. Shane and Natalie and I want to try to show up to at some of those events, and come out and support
For sure.
everything that you have going on. The Hopeaholics, as most of you know, started because my 21-year-old daughter found her fiance dead from fentanyl. And that's why this podcast exists. So we're out here fighting the same exact fight that you're fighting. This podcast is primary purpose is to bring awareness to fentanyl. It's to offer hope to family members that have lost their loved ones. It's to be a voice for the people that have lost their lives. And this is and to be honest with you, this is a gift from God, and it's a platform that is blowing up like crazy. And we're super stoked. And I know like Natalie doesn't like me saying too much, but we have a WWE superstar sitting right here in our in our podcast
I know.
room.
I fangirl over her.
Oh my God, I love you. Thank you. Thank you.
And
But you guys are doing exactly what your intentions are, and I'm just really grateful to have crossed paths with you guys. And I look forward to collaborating and just being of support. It's beautiful what you're doing. And when my son was going through recovery, I was like, no, dude, like this shit wasn't supposed to happen, man. I'm like, fuck, I thought I did everything. And I thought, where's like how we need to make things that are look cool. And, you need to know people that are sober. And then here you guys are, like, you're exactly what I had envisioned. I'm like, man, I wish my boy would have got to, meet you guys. So keep up the good work because you guys are inspiring moms and other people.
we blame it on the FBI.
Yeah, heaven forbid spreading
FBI
something positive.
Well, we start doing something
Tuesday
positive.
night.
The FBI shuts us down.
Exactly. Tuesday night.
Yeah.
It's all happening.
Oh, it's happening again.
Uh-oh.
There you go. The rolling.
Oh, yeah, you shouldn't have said FBI.
Oh, damn it. The
Jab.
damn FBI.
Did it do it again?
Yeah.
Wow, how weird.
Huh.
I like the logo though.
I'm heading
Recording in
Oh,
progress.
There we go.
Oh, look.
So I'm
she's
heading
sharing.
to a TA meeting. I'm also getting a sponsor that
Nice.
does the NA program, and I'm stopping lying about being an addict and just crying about life. I lost my faith a long time ago, and that's where my quote unquote mental illnesses and addiction came from. I'm self-righteous and self-centered, and I have a lot of pride, which which leads me to committing all the other sins, and I just am not a good person. So I'm coming to the realization that God designs our lives like by hand, especially. And yeah, I'm chasing God. I'm chasing him wherever he tells me to go, whatever meeting he tells me to go to. I'm just putting it all out there because I don't want to die an addict, and I want to be able to help other people. Like, I want to be able to help other people and use my potential, because God did not create me to be a lazy, good for nothing bum, which is what I have been being. And I have no valid reason to be like that whatsoever. So thank you for letting me share. And I'm stalking God right now. So thank you. Y'all have a good night.
Good for you, Michelle.
Oh my goodness, I love it.
Can everybody
And
hear
the
us?
honesty too.
Yeah, they can hear us.
A thumbs
They're
up
nodding.
if you can hear us. Okay,
Amy's
cool.
nodding.
Okay.
Yeah, we broke down for a minute. We don't know what happened. I also put the flyer from Perla on the Instagram story. So go check out our story. It's the last story. It's a good event, man. We gotta bring awareness. We're all about Orange County too. That's where we're at. But
That's where we all are.
we're taking it. We're taking
Global.
it to. We're taking it
Global.
global. I mean, this fentanyl crisis, y'all, is killing 300 people every single day.
It's crazy.
I mean, it's insanity.
I think the statistic is every 11 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, you don't even get to really hit a bottom anymore.
Yeah, and
We
you
used to
don't-
just get
no,
to mess
exactly.
ourselves up over and over and over and over, but you didn't die.
No, exactly.
Now you just can be
Like, I
middle of a
couldn't-
good time and die.
I couldn't imagine what it would be like being in my addiction like now.
I wouldn't make it out.
No.
Because you know, it's
Because you're playing Russian roulette now.
the thing is that the scarier part about the whole fentanyl crisis is, like, it's not just addicts and alcoholics
No.
that are dying.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, it's less of them than just your first, second, third
Right.
time
kids.
user
Yes, kids.
who might think that they're buying an
Ecstasy.
ecstasy
Yeah.
pill, or you know, as my son-in-law, even
Or
though
taking an Adderall.
yeah,
We heard about a college
my God, a college student.
Yeah.
She ran out of her Adderall.
and took it from. So she ran out of her prescription. She was studying for finals.
Jeez.
Went and
We
got
had-
one from her friend.
We had Cooper's dad, who was like a big TikTok star kid. His dad came on and he's advocating because he died from fentanyl
Yeah,
poisoning.
Cooper Noriega.
And so he was telling us a story about they were, I believe, at Stanford, was it
Yeah.
at the school? And two girls she was studying, she had a prescription. She was, diagnosed with ADHD, and so she had her prescription Adderall. She had run out of it, and her, I believe it was like her best friend was like, you know what? Don't even worry about it. I have some. You can get your prescription tomorrow. And so the girl took, her friend that she thought was a normal Adderall pill, thinking like, okay, here we go, and then gonna study and get her prescription tomorrow and go on about her finals. And she took the pill and she died.
Man.
That's insane.
And that's someone that's not an addict or not like an abuser
Yeah.
or anything like that. It's just like a kid that actually is prescribed this actual medication and it was studying for finals, and now she's gone.
Yeah.
Like that's how crazy it's gotten.
That's the hardest part is like knowing that the people that didn't want to die. You
For
know,
sure.
A lot of the people that I've lost, I look at them and I'm like, yeah, but that person didn't want to die. And those are the harder ones to, I think, kind of get through because
sure.
it's like all of those reminders and all of those things that it's like, well, this person could have been here to do this, or this person could have been, would have enjoyed this, you know, but taking those times to like enjoy it myself and just remember the people for their times when they were smiling is, it's hard, but it's something that I kind of have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just got a text from Justin's dad earlier today that the DEA picked up his case. It's been like over a year.
Oh wow.
You know, they just slow rolling everything.
Yeah.
Does anybody else want to share? We have time for one or two more. I see some. How
Any
about
questions?
Paige looks like she wants
Questions
to share,
for
doesn't
Christine?
she?
She's got some fun
Question
stories.
for Doppelganger?
But like I appreciate like Perla, thank you for like sharing, just because for at least for myself I'd be so embarrassed about, you know, being in recovery or having a problem or having a disease or, you know, working a 12-step program. But hearing, you know, messages like that is a sign that, you know, I'm in my purpose of like doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, because sobriety doesn't have to be a bore. It doesn't, your life's not over. Like you can still be popping, you can still be, you know, doing the thing and achieving great things. Because I feel like, you know, addicts and alcoholics are a unique individual because they can achieve things that the average person, I think, can't.
Yeah, I agree.
Can't or won't. Can't or
Probably,
won't.
probably won't.
Because
they don't have that,
weird
like,
thing,
weird
the weird thing
obsession.
about us is that we have this insane obsession, right? And then on top of that, we were addicted to drugs and or alcohol for a long, long time. And if it was like, if you were anything like me, my drug of choice was meth. So I worked 24 hours, 7 days a week to stay high. You know, to getting and finding ways and means to get more. That is all I did, all the time. So then I got sober, and they were like, "Hey, go get a job."
You got a lot of time on your hands.
And I was like, "So just from 9 to like 5, or 40 hours a week? What do I do with the rest of the time?" So.
And you put it towards something
understand that.
positive. And like not only that, like my mom's in this meeting right now listening, and like my family is everything to me, and it's like it's such a beautiful thing to be on the other side of it now, because I think about it sometimes, because now obviously that's like our thing, you know, we're on a podcast and we have a recovery center, so where it's like we're in the thick of it. And I think about the times where I feel my parents are absolutely amazing and their work ethic is like nothing I've ever seen. However, all of the sleepless nights they had from nonsense.
People like us.
Exactly.
Wonder how many nights. Penny, how many nights have you lost sleep?
Exactly.
Because I was doing my missions for the CIA.
Right. So it's
Listen, guys, I was in a meth-induced psychosis, okay?
he did never work
How
for
do
the
you know?
CIA.
Are you sure?
We don't know.
Wait, how do you know it's over?
Well, it's over. I turned in
you
my
sure?
credentials.
Are you sure?
I was like, the last time when the guy kicked in my door and he said he worked for the FBI, but he was really just a bail agent, take me to jail. I was like, I'm done, guys. I'm done.
Yeah.
Here's my credentials. You know, I'm too old to be jumping into the iPhone and becoming a digital person and doing missions in
There's
Afghanistan.
some things you just can't write off, though. You know,
Man.
some of the stuff that happened. Well, I'll tell my story next time.
I mean, it's good stuff. Like, it's really good stuff. And see, I see people laughing over there. Like, you guys must have worked for the FBI too, or
Chad, you're
not the
mortified
FBI.
right now. You're
I didn't
mortified
work
talking
for
about
him.
this.
Huh?
I didn't work.
I'm going to tell one last story real quick before we shut it down, because it's Shane's favorite story, and I hope that my mom is listening right now. I was up for like probably, I don't know, so let's just call it like 7 days, somewhere around there.
Something abnormal that the body
Something abnormal. I hadn't really eaten any food or drank any water, and I did find a little bottle of cough syrup with codeine. Right? Oh, my mom just texted me, so she's definitely listening.
she's probably like, Chad.
Let's see what she said. Let's
see
real quick.
what's Penny saying.
Many sleepless nights.
See?
Filled with prayer is what she said. So
Penny
she's
and
a
my
little
mom-
bit off because the
Penny and my
YouTube
mom
is
can-
probably like 5
Slower.
like a few minutes delay, so she doesn't know I'm telling the story yet. Anyways, I found the cough syrup with codeine. I took a little drink, fell asleep for a couple hours, woke up, and I was like, that's not my parents out there. And I was like, the FBI can morph into other people. So I thought that the FBI had morphed. And I went out to the room where my parents were. And I said, my mom just texted me again. And I said to myself, I'm going to ask my mom what my birth date is. And if she gets it wrong, she's the FBI. So I go out, I ask her, and she said January 9th, 1975 or something like that. And I'm born January 8, 1974. And I was like, this is the FBI. So I ran back into the room. I grabbed my Nerf gun that could kill FBI agents. Yeah. And I started shooting my parents with the Nerf gun.
I cannot wait until next week. Because when Trevor opens up his story, you guys are gonna be blown away. You guys are gonna.
I don't tell it at an AA meeting, but it's just.
But on the flip,
you want the flip side of that?
Look at
Penny called the cops when I started shooting her with the Nerf gun. The cops chased me through the neighborhood. I ran through a lady's house, and I went to jail that day.
Yeah. But now look at the positive. Penny and my mom are now logged on here, just listening to everybody's experience, strength, and hope, and they're not having a sleepless night tonight.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful
and you're
thing of
bringing in
recovery.
people to your podcast and having them tell their stories, and you're reaching out to people. You're doing all these reach out programs and
way better than
helping,
working for the CIA, brother.
Yeah, helping.
Oh
so
yeah,
many
no,
you're doing a
people.
lot more good here.
Yeah.
Than the CIA.
Good job,
yeah.
Penny.
Yeah, this is
Prayer work.
Civilian lifestyle.
Prayer work.
Civilian
Way
life
better,
is
guys.
nice. Yeah.
So
Anyways,
that's like the positive. And that's why sobriety is amazing, because it can go from like having wonderful parents. I love Penny. Shout out to Penny. I saw her today, and now she gets to not have that constant worry, constant concern like my parents as well. And I think that's also the gift of the program, is what you do for the people that love you the most. Obviously, we have to be willing to do all the work and the footsteps to become who we're destined to become. But what it does, it's a ripple effect with everybody else around you. And I think that's what's also amazing about the program.
I think it's important too to not let that suffering go to waste. The parent suffering, like they're now both of your parents are being put in a position where they can help other people that are going through the same thing, because there's a lot of people that are having those sleepless nights, and like sometimes it's even just like not feeling alone. Like they're not alcoholics; they've got that loved one of an alcoholic, you know, and they have that ability to do so. And I think that giving them a voice in this program would be great as well.
Definitely.
On Hopeaholics.
I'm just reading some of the chats now. So you heard that one before
running on
the Cali Muscle podcast. My mom said, "I love you too, Natalie." I love you, Natalie.
I love Penny.
Anyways, thank you guys.
My mom said, "Thank you all for sharing." See what I mean? I think that's what's like so cool about like sharing and opening up and not being in, or at least for me, like having like the guilt, the shame, or the embarrassment, when it's like, yeah, which looking back, you know, some of the things I did was like not the best, but look at us now. You know, you're able to take your pain and make it a message and spread it to other people and give them a glimmer of hope that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and to keep on going.
I love that.
Apparently, I've told that story a few times. A good one. It's a good one.
Amber, I love it. Amber's like, I heard that story on Natalie's first episode.
I mean, I have some good stuff, you guys. Like some really good stuff. There's an episode where one of our first episodes, I actually could, my house had, I was able to put little rockets underneath it, and I could fly my house to different locations.
Great.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. That idea is great.
I mean, it's free. You can do a lot of stuff when you're able to jump into the iPhone. You got to really, really be in it, though. You got to really be in it to be able to become a digital person and jump into an iPhone. I know, guys. It sounds crazy, but that's what happens. Right. And the moral of the story is
keep coming back.
Yeah.
Meth is bad.
If you're looking for hope, listen to Natalie. If you want to laugh, Dad's your guy, you know? Not really sure what Shane is contributing yet, but next week I hope to find out.
Yeah, we don't know yet either, but you know, we're still working on it.
For sure. But thank you guys for showing up this week. Like always, you know, this is a weekly meeting for everyone, 6 p.m. Tuesday nights. Great.
Pacific Standard Time, Cali time. If everybody could turn on their cameras, if they want to turn on their cameras, and then just put your arms up in the air like this real quick. Arms up in the air, arms up in the air.
So we didn't.
Get ready to go. Cue the intro. Here we go. Everybody dance. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. That's how we end, our
like
meeting.
the
And then
sound
one
effect.
last thing, we're going to end it with prayer.
God,
Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Amen.
See you all next week,
See you
same
guys
time.
Same time.
Trevor speak.
Actually, both of them will be back next
yeah.
week. So
Are you volunteering
awesome.
me to be here?
Yeah.
You gotta be on.
Oh, I don't know. You don't have to be here. Shane will be here though. Shane will.
No, I'm kidding.
Hopefully.
Maybe. Who knows?
But if not, we actually have another camera and a microphone
Yeah.
over there.
You could throw questions from over there.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
See you guys next
Yes.
week. Super
Thanks,
excited
guys.
to hear Trevor's story. Sounds to me like it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell funny stuff.